right, we're going to do another day of completing the square. If you do have questions, please don't forget that I will have the office hours that you can contact me on. All right, so for number one, it's in the right form where the letters are on the left and the numbers are on the right. So we're going to go ahead. This is our B term. You're going to take that B term and you're going to cut it in half. So divide it by 2. And then you're going to square that. That's going to give you a 16. That 16 will get added to the backs of both the equations. So you'll end up having v squared plus 8v plus 16 equals 15 plus 16. We said the left side will end up being 2 sets of parentheses, and you will take the number that's up here. So this number, it's a positive, it will come down and go into both of those places. So it'll be a v plus 4, and then 15 and 16 will give you a 31. Then you're going to go ahead, since we have 2 of these, you're going to write it twice. You're going to write it with the squared. And then we talked about last time how in order to get rid of a squared, you're going to square root both sides, making sure to add the plus and minus on the right side. The squared and the radical cancel, so the quantity underneath just drops down. So v plus 4 equals plus and minus square root of 31. Now if you put this in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal. So it means it's not a perfect square. So we're just going to leave this for now. So we're going to leave it since it's not a perfect square. And then we're going to finish the problem by subtracting 4 to both sides. When you subtract 4, we're actually going to put it in the front of this radical. It just looks a little cleaner. So you'll have v equals, so it's a negative 4, a plus and minus, radical 31. And you're going to stop there, and that'll be your answer for the first one. So you will get a couple answers like this on your homework for tonight. The second one is not in the right format, so we want to first start by taking the 4 and moving it over. So you have k squared minus 5k equals negative 4. From here, we'll do our b. So this is our b term here. You're going to take that and you're going to cut it in half, but you're going to notice that 5 isn't divisible by 2. So you're going to leave it and you're going to go straight to squaring. So you'll have a couple of these on homework as well. So when you don't have an even number, you're just going to leave it as a fraction and then go straight to the next step, which is squaring it. So a negative 5 and a negative 5 is a positive 25, and a positive 2 and a positive 2 is a 4. This horrible fraction, I know we don't like fractions, don't make it a decimal, will go to the back of both the equations like we did before. So you will end up having k squared minus 5k plus this 25 over 4 equals, and then this negative 4 plus the same 25 over 4. The left side, again, goes to 2 parentheses. And again, you're just going to take the number before you squared it. I know it's ugly. Just pop it into the backs of both those parentheses. Make sure you take the sign, though, so it's a negative. So k minus 5 over 2, k minus 5 over 2. And then we need to do a little bit of work right here. So we've got a negative 4. Let's put that over 1 plus a positive 25 over 4. We need common denominators, so we're going to multiply the top and the bottom of the left one by 4, giving us negative 16 over 4 plus 25 over 4. And then when you do the tops, you get 9 over 4. So that's what will come down here, equals 9 over 4. So the work for this is up here. So you can see how I got that number. Then we have 2 parentheses, so we're going to write it again, but we're going to put the squared on it. And we're going to again keep the 9 over 4. You're going to square root both sides, adding a plus and minus. So this will be just a k minus 5 over 2 equals. Now when you're doing this one, I would separate it. Do the top and the bottom separate, because the square root of 9 is just 3 and the square root of 4 is just 2. So this will give you a plus and minus 3 over 2. Again, just leave it as a fraction, because when you go to put the 5/2 over, you're going to see you already have fractions there as well. Now add 5 over 2 to both sides. So you're going to come up with two answers again. So we are going to need to write this one separate. So remember this 3 over 2, there's a positive and a negative. So there's a positive 3 over 2 and there's a negative 3 over 2. And we're adding 5/2 to both of those. Adding 5/2, adding 5/2. So same sign, so you add, so you get 8 over 2, and that can reduce to a 4. And then here, a negative and a positive subtract. 2 over 2 gives you 1. So k is going to equal 4 and 1. Whoops, little hiccup there.